Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach. Two friends discuss all things fitness to bring knowledge and some opinion to you wherever you may be in your health journey. My friend Caleigh, the beginner, almost ran a 5K once, recently had her first protein shake, and is the proud owner of one set of 5-pound dumbbells.
And my friend Sara, the expert, grunts when she lifts, has race walked dozens of races, including a full marathon, and has 12 open protein tubs in the pantry. So let's get started.
Whoa. Okay, so this podcast is for entertainment only. If you have concerns about your health, consult a physician or other healthcare professionals. Caleigh, what do you know about waist trainers?
So like we're talking about, when you say waist trainer, I think of like the corset style thing that the people wear them
Cinches your
to.
waist together, not W-A-S-T-E, but W-A-I-S-T. Yeah, waist.
We're not talking about like garbage? No? Okay.
No garbage.
Yeah, so
because you've seen those before, right?
I have.
People.
I've heard.
Well, you follow the Kardashians, so I'm pretty sure at some point they've probably had.
So it like takes your midsection and like physically
holds it in.
And eventually like that's just the shape of your midsection.
Okay,
right?
so that's like a medieval times like corset, right?
Yeah,
but that's like the super rigid extreme version. Have you run across in all of your TikTok videos?
Not in my TikTok.
Anyone? No,
not in my TikTok.
Instagram,
I had a friend on Facebook. I wouldn't call him like a in real life friend, but there was a girl that I had on Facebook that, she talked about these waist trainers, and I think the ones that she had were more like, they were almost like fancy corsets. Like it was more, it almost seemed like it was more about the collecting and acquiring of like these waist trainer devices than it was, I don't know.
Like more than exercise related.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's not ever really popped up on your radar though, like the use of a device.
I mean, did I do some research the other day? Yeah.
Okay. What did you come across in your research then?
So this is my first search result.
Okay.
It was according to hourglassangel.com. Now this is my first search result.
Okay.
Hourglassangel.com.
They did some serious SEO, so to come up with the first one. Good.
Quote, a waist trainer is a high compression shaping garment that you wear around your midsection to slim your waistline instantly and supplement your fitness goals, unquote.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Now, so what strikes me is that like that was my first... what I searched for was what is waist training, and without even clicking on a result, that was the very first thing that popped up. So you don't know anything about it. I felt like sort of painted it in a positive light, right? You know what I mean?
I mean, does sound positive.
And this was
like,
actually,
this is a cool new little helpful tool.
And so this whole site was like, it was actually like a how-to guide on this waist training. Gave it another 3 minutes of my time. I think I already had an opinion about this.
Okay.
I'm super curious to see what you have to say.
Yep.
But what I learned quickly was that waist trainers can result in a waist slimming effect. Like it will happen. It works, but it's only temporary, and it can cause issues like breathing difficulties, digestion issues, and organ damage when used long term.
I can see that. Okay.
So I don't know. I've always found this to be a pretty fascinating concept. I've never done it. Like I said, I had a friend who did it. Would I try it for a week? Yeah. For science. For science. You know.
Anything. I'm not
saying our listeners should. I'm not recommending it, but I'd give it a shot short term.
To see, based on the initial
experimental kind of way.
Just to kind of get your own personal opinions on it.
I do wear from time to time. I have a posture corrector, which is not not the same thing. Oh yeah, but still. I'm awful, and I have scoliosis issues. So like, I mean, I know my posture is the thing I need. So it's like backpack straps without the backpack.
Yep.
And when I first bought it, I was like, it's not gonna it'll be fine. It's not gonna be uncomfortable, or I'll throw it on and it'll fix my posture.
Yeah. Like
it says it will. They recommend wearing it for 30 minutes a day. And while I have it on, the only thing I can think about is taking it off. It's awful. So I don't wear it.
Well, because it probably makes you have correct posture, right?
Yes,
so you're having to focus on making sure you're staying upright, and it's a device that's actually kind of trying to fix just what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like an external input. on like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's just like a reminder.
Yeah.
Like, hey, put your shoulders
you're
back.
like, oh shoot, I got to have some effort towards that right now.
Yeah.
So.
But it's, I don't know, just having that extra like piece of something on your body that you're not used to.
Unnatural.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think you could get used to it.
Sure.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I think to me, waist training sounds like something that's probably not rooted in science. Like more of a, I mean, like I said, you will get the results of it slimming your waist, but it's not in a way that's going to be a long-term solution. It's not going to make you
surface level quick fix almost.
If you have a lot of weight or like extra something around your midsection, wearing a waist trainer isn't going to like magically make that go away. It sounds kind of like one of those too good to be true. Just wear this.
Yeah. And it's going to do all the work for you. And magically, you're going to have a completely slimmed down waistline.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of people out there who believe in this as a thing. And there's a lot of people that advise against it because there's dangers and risks involved.
Yep. So that was a pretty good list from that article there.
Mm-hmm. Of the dangers?
Yeah. And so I think, when it comes...
Did you know that?
As it relates to fitness, I mean, I think there's definitely two sides of the house. There's definitely people that are like all pro waist trainers. They're like super, there's maybe three camps. There's your camps that people think that it's just a miracle thing, right? They
like I don't have to work out. I can just wear this thing. I don't do anything.
So this is just going to fix everything, which that's just not real.
Yeah.
But then like, if you're like, okay, I use it as a tool, as like part of my program for very specific reasons and purposes. Mm-hmm. There's that camp. And then there's a camp that are like, no, because it increases your temperature. It squeezes your organs together. It makes it more difficult to breathe.
So do you think
it should be absolutely never used for
Where
exercise?
Are you at? Is there a place for it?
So when I first started in my career, I was of the opinion where I was like, nope, it limits your breathing capacity. It squeezes you kind of in and together. Like I never felt like it had a place in the gym.
Okay.
But it was always still something that kind of like popped up, right? It was always still out there. People also, and I was like, and once I had kids, I did some binding just because with like a more flexible one, as my abdominal wall was trying to come back after being pregnant. And I just remember feeling like really supported in that. Mm-hmm. And what I realized through that process for me is I wasn't expecting for it to do the work for me. Mm-hmm. But what I did notice was I paid more attention to how I was holding my own body throughout the day.
Okay.
So I was standing taller. I was holding my belly button in more just because I could feel that, around my midsection. It's a lot harder to sit down than and slouch. Right. We all are pretty sedentary in our lives. I mean, for the most part, in different ways. A lot of us that are working on computers or whatever,
absolutely,
like we sit.
Yeah.
And so when you are not standing up as much and you're sitting, it's really easy to kind of like slouch back. And the first thing you do is you just kind of let your abdominal wall go and you're just like relaxing. Yeah. Right. And so if you're wearing like, mine was a postpartum binder at that point, you can't do that as well because it's uncomfortable. So it's like I would feel myself sitting back.
So it's almost kind of like a reminder.
It's a reminder to like be like, oh wait, I should be paying attention to how my body is moving.
But you weren't doing it in a way that was like, I'm going to cinch my waist so tight that it's going to just like permanently be that way. Compress my like rib cage in and like make it towards like I have a 6-inch waist. I mean, it was none of that. It was more like I want to recover. I want my abdominal wall to like come back and come back in. And I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
You know what I mean? And so it's actually interesting because it's like I went through that process, started to kind of realize that. And then I did have a coach at one point suggest wearing like just like a regular belt, but up around your waist. Oh. So not having to do just so that you could get that
just have that reminder
feedback for that reminder. Because I think what oftentimes people underestimate is the power of how you live your everyday.
Yeah.
You can go to the gym every day that you want. You can do 1,000 crunches at the gym. You can go through and do all this hard work. But if you completely let it go, the other 23 hours of the day, it's going to be really still an uphill battle. Yeah. But if you have those goals and you're mindful of how you're sitting during the day and how you're standing, and like even right now, I'm like, okay, I'm walking or we're doing the challenge. It's walking taller, or pulling my abdominal wall in instead of when I get tired where I'd start to kind of like slouch over a little bit. It was a good reminder. It's been a good reminder for me. So you could do the belt if you don't want to like full on cinch things, but I did actually one of the workouts do my full on like binder that I have just to give it a try because I'd never really worn it for exercise before. I wanted to see how hot it made me. I wanted to see if it changed my ability to get in good breaths, my breathing, but it definitely made me stand taller.
This is interesting. I did not think this was the way this conversation
really?
was
No,
gonna
yeah.
go. I thought you were going to hate it all the way.
So, I mean, I was definitely of the opinion of all of like the negative things that can definitely come out of it. I don't think it's a quick fix, but it's like, could it be one thing that has a spot in your toolbox?
Is there a place for it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And so when I just realized how much I slouch, how much throughout the day.
I'm looking at like me and
lazy.
you right now, and you're like clear up here.
I know. Well, because
I'm
all
like
of a sudden got really high off my
swamp
microphone.
goblin down here.
Because even here, it's like we're sitting here
I
chatting.
mean, I noticed that because
and you're
we've
getting
been doing the videos like while we're recording the podcast.
Right.
Like that was one thing that struck me after the last time we recorded. I was like, oh my god,
how we just like sit and slouch over at the
man.
microphone. Like, and I do blame some of that on the fact that I always felt like I was really tall for a girl.
Yeah.
And growing up, I hit
make
my
yourself smaller.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hit my growth spurt as a freshman in high school, and I shot up. And you're kind of self-conscious then, anyways. And I always felt like I was really tall. And then I got to the years where I wear heels. Well, then I'm well over 6 feet tall. And I'm standing above crowds. And so I've always naturally
minimize your.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's like I hunch over, and then like it just doesn't have like my tummy pushes out. Not going to bring the wall back in if I keep like spending all day every day letting my belly push out forward. So
See, and I was diagnosed with scoliosis as a child.
did you have the brace and everything?
No, we never took it that far. I had exercises I needed to do and stuff. What it was I think I was born with an extra bone in my vertebrae, which made the curvature of my spine happen.
Yeah, just kind of push. There wasn't enough room probably.
And I hate to like blame it all on that, but nothing was ever super done about my scoliosis. And I've been told since then that since it's kind of gone like largely unchecked most of my life, that I may have some issues going into my 50s, 60s.
Oh no.
So we'll see.
So
Stay
is it
tuned.
just like that it'll start bending over, or like posture?
I think more it's just affected my posture.
Yeah.
I notice even when I walk, like I don't walk, super
Straight.
For whatever reason. I don't have a lot of back pain and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get pain in my knees, and I think that's a whole nother issue. But
some of that's also a byproduct of our society with our phones.
Yeah.
And our bending over, we roll our shoulders forward to type on laptops or computers. We're hunched over, like looking at our phones. And so some of that too, we also have got really tight chest muscles that's helping us like,
well, they say we're going to we're probably just going to evolve back
into like caveman stuff. Yeah. Hunch back over. I mean, we're kind of there. They're talking about like a bone that's on the back of your neck too that started. So it's like posture is super key. So is there a possibility that a waist trainer can help you stay tall, keep your core engaged?
Right.
I do think there are some recommendations around how much you should wear one during the day. For me, I feel like I just kind of wear it until I'm not comfortable anymore. And then I'll like take it off.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do with the posture corrector.
Posture thing.
Yeah.
So, it's another tool that could maybe have a spot, but do I think you can just like put one on and it magically is going to make you have this like
right, like you're not a tube of toothpaste. You're not gonna...
right. Just like, hold yourself like all in and it's just going to be fine. Or like one of the wraps that just like sucks out all of your water from your skin and just like wraps. I mean, we could go there. I mean, that's kind of playing into it too, I mean, you could just buy one of those and all of a sudden it magically just like goes away. You're so skinny. And so, it's probably a little too good to be true then too. But, it is kind of interesting because this has definitely been one that I had a really strong opinion against for a long time, but then I just kind of kept seeing it. So I was like, okay, I need to maybe get a little bit familiar with
it feels like you haven't figured out to like, I mean, the way that you are doing it, have done it, It makes sense. It doesn't.
Even right now, I feel like if I had it on, I would probably be sitting here with much better posture.
You have great posture.
I don't.
I'm jealous.
I
of your
mean,
posture.
well, right now I'm like sitting up tall because we're talking about it. But
I'm over here liking them.
I know. Well, I was slouched down too, but it's
scoliosis.
I'm like, okay, here we go. I'll move up the microphone and it'll make me stay up here because.
Yeah, that's true.
But you see, and all of a sudden it's like
Even
I
my
felt
microphone's a little off kilter.
Maybe
My microphone's slouching.
It's just following you with it.
Sorry, Alan.
He took offense to that. He's like, no, I've got it right where it needs to be. So, I do feel like if I had it on right now, I'd be sitting taller. I do think that there's some power in being aware of what you're doing with your body throughout your entire day, because I think it can very quickly completely erase any extra like workouts that you're doing at the gym or at home or whatever else. And so it would just count like that's not what you're trying to accomplish. So don't go erase all the work you just did. Like be mindful. Don't be lazy.
Yeah.
Sitting, in your chair and slouching over, like, which is hard to do.
Yeah, because it's such a mindless.
You don't even realize
not
you're doing
something
it.
you think about all the time.
No. So, that's where something externally that's giving you that reminder can be helpful. I
can see that for sure.
I think it'd be really hard. We'll say that too about like lifting belts. Like if you see people like wearing the belts around their waist for like squats and stuff. I also feel like you should be properly bracing and working on your core strength. That should not be an aid for like weakness. But what those weightlifting belts can do is it can help make sure you're bracing your lifts correctly for a solid core. So it's another tool that goes around your waist, but slightly different, but it can all kind of accomplish the same thing. It's just keeping you more aware of what you're doing with your midsection.
Okay. Well,
so
makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, there's belly creams out there. Have you seen any of those?
No, tell me more.
I don't know if any of them were. Well, I mean, they're just a cream on your skin. Well, let's, maybe we should find some of these and we should test them.
Try some belly creams.
We're like, we'll just try the belly cream.
You know me.
Like,
Sarah, I'll try anything once.
It's like,
give me a belly cream.
Hey, we talked about spot reducing, right? So it's like, okay, then we're going to rub this cream on and it's going to
it's got to work.
Reduce your
it's
belly
got to
fat.
work, right? Like that's got to.
I mean, it's got to.
It's got to work.
So, that was just, I mean, why not? What could go wrong? What could go wrong? I mean, if they say that it's true, it's got to be true, right?
So that's our challenge next month. Belly cream.
Belly cream. I got to go find the Instagram ad because that's the other thing too. I mean, if it pops up on an Instagram ad, it's got to be true. It's got to be true.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what belly cream is.
Maybe I've been searching too much of this stuff. Like
they're like, oh, this is the girl that wears waist trainers.
Yes.
She might believe in belly cream.
Ordered that before. Let's get her in on this. I also think phones probably listen a lot. So.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're really smart. I'm just going to pop up this
ad. They are
ad.
called smartphones.
They are. Well, they didn't get their name without that makes sense. Jeez.
So
what do you think about waist trainers?
I'm surprised that
you thought this was going to be like a hard no for me.
I thought this was going to be a strong hate from you. So I'm really surprised. And
look at that. See?
But I think we agree that there is a way to do it that can be dangerous, right?
Of course. Well, I think that's true for just about anything, don't you think?
I mean, yeah.
So do you think it's something that you would ever feel like you would want to give a whirl?
I'd do it. You know me.
You're up for anything.
I'd try it. I would try a waist trainer. I mean, I'd cinch that bad boy real tight for like a good solid week. Just to like see what it's like. Can I get my midsection a little bit smaller in 1 week? I don't know.
Probably not.
Just out of curiosity. For funsies.
Maybe. I do have to lay down to cinch mine up, which is kind of crazy. Because you're like, there's no way this thing is going to work. Got all the little hooks,
I just think, was there like a scene in the Titanic? Was it the Titanic?
Yeah, but it's like it was a corset, like, right? Well, that's,
that's what I think of.
You got that extra like ribbon that they're like pulling. And it's like, those were the ones where they definitely had you like cinched in.
Wild.
That is kind of wild. fashion, it comes full circle. Think about that.
Here
like
we are
they were onto
again.
something.
I don't know. It
Take a
sounds
slightly different
uncomfortable.
form.
It sounds itchy and sweaty, which are not.
It is not comfortable. Well, it just makes you aware.
Yeah.
For sure. So they have moments of discomfort only when you're not sitting correctly.
Right.
Mostly. I mean, if you're standing up, I
Yeah.
feel like
So
you
then
really
that's your
knows
reminder that like,
So yeah, for me, it's just like, yeah, if I sit correctly, then
get your life
fine.
together.
No
Sit
kidding. Stop being so lazy.
Sit up, get your life
Sit
together.
up. Stop the slouching.
Yeah.
So that helps, but it is definitely not a magic.
Right. Yeah. You
This is
can't
gonna
just
do
tie
it
this
all
thing
for
around
you.
your waist and be skinny.
And have 8-pack abs.
Mm.
Did you know there is such a thing?
No.
8-packs versus 6-packs. Do you all probably just always hear the 6-pack, right?
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about the different ab packs. That's a whole.
I know about a 12-pack. Talk about a 12-pack.
When are we gonna talk about that? We already did. That was the alcohol episode.
You want to talk about a 12-pack? I'm your girl.
Yeah, that was episode 12. We talked all about alcohol, so we know the whole transition of how that evolution has went for you.
Yep.
So there we go. But okay,
All right. So I don't know. I'm surprised at your take on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
there we
that's
go.
cool. So that's cool.
I surprised you for
continue
one. And
to
I didn't have
surprise
any
me.
like rants or tangents. I don't think too bad on this one. Well, I guess that's debatable. That's always debatable. So okay, so
You were
would
talking.
you? I mean, you have never done one, but you're
I've never
interested
done
in
one.
trying.
I would try it. I would try it for science for a week. Sure. Probably won't, but gun to my head.
Love it or hate it. I mean, I don't know that I would go the extremes on this one. I mean, this one I feel like I will not have it as a consistent part of my routine.
Yeah.
But when it does make sense, I do think it can be an effective tool to like just be mindful in the ways that I definitely need to be.
Yeah, I'm
like,
not going to
mindful.
throw in the towel on everything I've been doing because I can wrap this thing around my waist and
Well, that's good.
So,
it just isn't.
there's
That's
that.
too good to be true.
yeah.
So we're there. So anyways, that kind of fall in the middle. I
Yeah,
guess just kind of
pretty
depends.
neutral.
And there, you don't know yet.
You've opened my eyes to some aspects of it that I
There we
was
go.
not expecting.
We'll have
So
to give it a
that's
try.
cool.
So
All right.
there we go. That's the deal. The lowdown scoop on waist trainers. So until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the episode. Be sure to let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating, and of course, tell your friends. Until next time.
You've been listening to Euphony Innovatives Sonified.